Dear friends, Assalamu alaikum. We meet again today. Today is the 31st of August 2020. Today I'm going to discuss an important topic that is related to the issue of freedom of speech and democracy in Albania. For you people who see me from countries which are far from Albania, you probably are not very much aware about what is going on in my country. Since 2016, Albania is hosting an ex-terrorist Iranian organization known as MTO or Mujaheden el-Halk. This organization, which was listed as a terrorist organization by the American government, the European Union, Canada, and many other countries, as part of the so-called nuclear deal with Iran. This organization, which was similar to ISIS or Daesh or Jabhat al-Nusra or other terrorist organizations. So this organization was relocated in Albania. In 2016, the Americans brought around 3,000 Iranian foreign fighters in our country. And as of this year, according to the data shown by the Albanian government and border police, in Albania we have around 7,000 Iranian jihadis. These Iranian jihadis, like the foreign fighters of ISIS, Jabhat al-Nusra, Tahrir al-Sham, and other terrorist organizations who come to Europe, are a major headache for European security services. However, in the case of Albania, and since the United States is at war with Iran and Israel as well, the Mujahedins of Albania are pampered by the Americans and the Albanian government. They are our good terrorists, meaning they are the terrorists whom NATO needs to use them in a future war that the Americans and Israel plans to do against Iran. However, what is happening in Albania is that even though the Americans forced us and NATO forced the Balkan countries since 2013 and 14 to change their laws and to persecute those people who involve themselves in foreign fight, and as a result of it, we had throughout the Balkans hundreds of European Muslims who had joined the jihad in Syria, who, after returning from the jihad, they were jailed and they were charged with terrorism charges. When it comes to the issue of the Iranian Mujahideen, the Albanian government has done nothing similar. Even though the Iranian Mujahideens, they are foreign fighters, they are people who have blood in their hand and who in the past they have killed people, and they were the Fedayeen of Saddam Hussein. These people, when they have been relocated to Albania, not only that they have not been jailed for their past terrorist activity, but in Albania, our government has allowed them to build even a paramilitary camp known as Camp of Manza or Camp Ashraf. The Mujahideens, who are structured as a paramilitary organization, they have a commander-in-chief whose name is Maryam Rajavi, and they have a command structure and soldiers. Now, these people are being kept in my country, Albania, in very inhuman conditions, the soldiers especially. They are not allowed to get out from the camp, they are not allowed to marry, they are not allowed to work, they are not allowed to live a civilian life. So they are being kept as a standing army, ready to be used and deployed at any moment for doing a jihad in the Middle East whenever the United States and Israel wants it. Now, the Mujahedins are our useful terrorists, and because the Americans need them, they are tolerated. However, me as an expert on Islam, who have written and analyzed the creation of Daesh and other terrorist organizations, it is my professional duty to also investigate what MEC does. I have also a friend, his name is Gjergji Thanasi, who is an OSCE award-winning journalist. We, like many other journalists in Albania, have written many articles, and we investigate the criminal and terrorist activity that MEC does in Albania by breaking the laws of Albania. However, since 2018, MEC has managed, with the support of the Americans and money from Saudis and Emiratis and what have you, they have managed to silence the majority of the media in Albania. Some TV stations that I know, they were paid in cash, sums from 50 to 100,000 euros by the Mojahedin command in order to buy their silence about what MEC does in Albania. Now, 3 days ago, the Mujahedins, with their fake news websites that they have released 2 videos by 2 of their Mujahedin commanders, where they attack me and the other Albanian journalist, Gjergji Thanasi. So I'm doing this video as a response to the commander of the Mujahedin Jihad, Maryam Rajavi, and to these soldiers or commanders that they are, about the accusations that they have launched against me and Mr. Gjergji Thanasi. MEC, since they're coming to Albania, they came in big number in 2016, and in the time the Albanian media protest and the intellectuals, they protest the allocation of the Mujahedins in Albania. I have been one of the first public speakers in my country to ask our government not to bring the Mujahedins. However, what the Americans and Mujahedins told to the Albanian public in 2016 was that they were coming for humanitarian reasons. But of course this was a lie. The Mujahedins today, they have a paramilitary organization in Albania. They have a standing army of 7,000 people, and as you can understand, me and my friend and other journalists in Albania, now we are facing a huge army of Iranian jihadis. Albania has a number of police and soldiers around 6,800, if I'm not wrong, but we have more Mujahedins than soldiers and police in this country. Now, I'm doing this video and I'm directing this message to Maryam Rajavi, the Commander-in-Chief of MEC. I want to tell to Madam Rajavi, I really want to have an open debate with you. I'm very happy that today, finally, after 3 years of you attacking me from behind, complaining to the Interior Ministry of Albania, complaining to my workplace, and forcing me to lose my job, and causing so many troubles to my life and destroying my life economically in a way. I'm happy that finally you have come out with the face of your commanders on attacking me. Now, I want to tell you, Madam Rajavi, that Albania is a democratic state, and we are a liberal democracy where we have freedom of speech. In the latest hate and lying article and video that your commanders have made against me and my friend Gjergji Thanasi, you want in a way to intimidate us, to silence us, but I promise you, Madam Rajavi, that we are never going to be silent. Why? We're going to investigate and expose to the international and Albanian community the crimes and the illegal things that you are doing in my country. Madam Rajavi, your Mujahedins came to Albania as asylum seekers, and you are not allowed to, according to Albanian laws, even though you are doing that, to organize paramilitary terrorist groups in my country. You are not allowed to incite for war against foreign countries, because according to the penal code of Albania, this is considered incitement to terrorism, and the punishment is 10 to 15 years. But of course, nobody is going to send you to prison, because the Americans and Israelis need you, and the Albanian lawyers, after the vetting that the American embassy did here in Albania, they are afraid even to mention your name. Anyhow, I'm answering to the accusations that your military command has made against me and my friend Gjergji Thanasi. In the article that your helicopter commander Ahmed Tabai, who served as a Fedayeen of Saddam Hussein and took part together with you in the killing of Kurds in Albania, in the article that Ahmed Tabai, with the title "Activities of the Iranian Regime's Elements in Albania," you make a number of accusations against me and my friend. The accusation number one is that you accuse us of leading a campaign on behalf of the Iranian regime to demonize you, Holy Lady Maryam Rajavi. Now, my dear Mujahedin friends, you who are going to see this video, we do not work for the Iranian regime. Me personally, I'm a historian and journalist. Before dealing with you, I have investigated the recruitment and radicalization of Muslims from Europe who joined Daesh in Syria. I am a historian. I deal with the situation of Muslim communities in the world, from the Uyghurs in China up to Muslims in Bosnia and Herzegovina. And you cannot stop me from investigating and writing articles about you. In Albania, dear Maryam Rajavi and dear Interior Minister Sander Leshaj and the Chief of Anti-Terror Police of Albania, Gledis Nano, who in the last few months you have been siding with Maryam Rajavi and her terrorist group on persecuting the defectors of jihad in Albania. I want to let you all know that in Albania we have democracy and freedom of speech. I know that Maryam Rajavi is not happy about this, but you cannot stop us from writing, speaking about you. We don't live in Camp Ashraf of Manza, where you keep your slaves and soldiers imprisoned. Me and Gjergji, Maryam Rajavi, live in Europe. In Europe, we have democracy, we have freedom of speech. You cannot stop us. You can stop us only if you kill us, of course. The accusation number two that you have launched against us today is that you accuse us that the Iranian regime pays for our trip when we have visited Iran. Now, Maryam Rajavi and the High Command of the Mujahedins, Mr. Gledis Nano, Chief of Anti-Terror, Chief of Station of the US Embassy in Tirana, dear, I don't know, spy, Chief of Mossad in Tirana, whatever. It is true that me and Gjergji and many other Albanian intellectuals and journalists, we have gone and have visited the beautiful Iran. We are always invited in Iran by different media organizations. Yes, when we are invited in Iran, it is the Iranian organizations who pay for us. Like they pay for hundreds of other invitees that they take from countries from United States up to Afghanistan. It is not a crime to visit Iran and to take part in conferences, dear jihadis. I know that you, the soldiers of Mecca, who live for 30 years in a state of lockdown, and you are standing jihadi soldiers for Maryam Rajavi. I know that for you the conferences and moving free in the world is something strange, unacceptable, but for us, people who live in freedom and democracy, this is a basic human rights. In my life, my dear jihadi friends of soldiers of Maryam Rajavi, I have visited and I have been paid actually by many countries and organizations throughout the world. I've been paid by Malaysians, by Saudis, by the government of Italy, Russians, Chinese, Iran, Turkey, Canada. I have been sponsored for my books and academic projects by different funding organizations. And it is not a crime to be even paid when we do our visits to Iran. We live in democracy, we don't live in Camp Ashraf. You cannot stop us from visiting Iran. We have visited Iran, we'll visit Iran, and we will go to Iran at any moment of our choosing and wish, and you cannot stop us, of course, only if you kill us. Now, an accusation that the Iranian jihadis have made against me is that I run Gazeta Impact. Gazeta Impact, friends, is a news portal that publishes news about Albania, the region, and the world. Now, I want to tell to our jihadi friends that number one, I do not run Gazeta Impact. Gazeta Impact, as far as I know, is not registered in Albania, but it is registered outside of Albania. Gazeta Impact is an online Albanian newspaper that publishes articles sometimes that are critical to you, like it publishes articles that are critical to our Prime Minister, to the Prime Minister of Kosovo, to Donald Trump, etc. We live in democracy, and in democracy you cannot stop the freedom of information. Now, our jihadi friends, you know, and I know very well, that when you came to Albania, there were almost all the news outlets of our country who attacked you. Top Channel brought investigative journalists to you, Vision Plus, Gazeta Shqiptaria, and so many other news outlets in Albania made TV programs and documentaries and articles about your illegal and terrorist activities in Albania. But what happened, you know, and I know, that since 2017 you have been very active on silencing the media in Albania. Televisions like Top Channel or major newspapers like Gazeta Shqiptaria, who were very critical to you and who brought many of these defectors to the media, showing to the public that what kind of torture you had done to these people, from 2018 to 2019 suddenly went silent. I have a personal history with you. In 2018, when in Tirana, Albania, we had one Iranian family, the family of Mustafa Mojahedin, who wanted to meet his daughter, Sumaya Mojahedin, who is being held as a slave soldier in your camp. When a lawyer representing the family of Mustafa Mojahedin went to Shiak TV, the Shiak TV made a scandal with the journalist. The journalist was fired. Why? Only because in his debating show, there was a lawyer who was showing how you were attacking this Canadian family and how you were keeping Sumaya Mojahedin as a hostage, and you were not allowing her to meet her Canadian mother and father. 2 days later, your commanders, one of them is this Ahmed Tabai, the other was Gila Dehim and others, you went with a big bag with money to the Shiak TV, and after this day Shiak TV was silent about you. The same thing happened to Gazeta Shqiptaria, the same thing happened to Top Channel. Some Albanian journalists claim that you paid 100,000 euro to this TV station, 50,000 euro to the other station. Of course, I do not know how much you paid to these TV stations, because I haven't seen you when you send them the cash, but something is true, that after your visit to these major stations, their staff were told by their owners not to report anything about what crimes you are doing in Albania. Coming back to Gazeta Impact, I understand that Gazeta Impact is probably one of the few news outlets in our region, because it is not in Albania, that publishes critical articles about you and exposes to the world what you are doing. I have a proposal. Try and offer €500,000 to Gazeta Impact as a sponsorship, of course, and maybe Gazeta Impact is going to come on your side, like Vision Plus, like Gazeta Shqiptaria and Top Channel come. You know, we live in a free world. Try and sponsor Gazeta Impact, and maybe your worry is going to move away. But of course, you cannot stop Madame Rajavi, Gazeta Impact, from being critical to you, because we live in democracy, we have freedom of speech, we do not live in Camp Ashraf, Maryam Rajavi, that you can imprison and torture us. You cannot stop us, only if you kill us, of course. Now, another accusation that you Mujahedins have made against me is that I'm connected to the New Horizon organization in Iran, and you claim that this Iranian NGO is connected to the Quds Force. And as a result, you want to implicate me with the Iranian government and security services. Now, it is true, my jihadi friends, that in the year 2018, if I'm not wrong, or 19, I was invited by the New Horizons organization in Iran to attend a conference about Palestine. In this conference, there were dozens of foreign intellectuals and journalists, people from the famous Alexander Dugin, and we had many scholars and journalists from Russia, Britain, Romania, Germany, United States, Italy, and so many other countries. In this conference, I was with the sister-in-law of Mr. Tony Blair, Miss Lauren Both. If going to a conference about Palestine in Iran is a crime and we should be punished, I'm ready to go to jail together with Miss Lauren Both, who attended together with me this conference. I hope that Tony Blair is going to save me, because his sister-in-law was also with me. So again, our Mujahedin friends, you cannot stop us to participate in conferences. We live in democracy, we don't live in Camp Ashraf, and you can stop us only if you kill us. Another accusation that you have made in the latest release against me and my other journalist friend is that you claim that I provided media coverage for the Iranian agent Ehsan Bidi. Now, for those friends who probably don't know who is Ehsan Bidi, let me give you a small introduction. After the coming of the Mujahedins in Albania, the vast majority of them were taken and they live inside the Camp Ashraf in a paramilitary organization run by Maryam Rajavi, but a good number of these Mujahedins managed to escape and to live in freedom. Ehsan Bidi is one defector of MEC, a person who came to Albania long before Maryam Rajavi came. He came to Albania in 2013. He got political asylum granted by UNHCR in Albania. But Ehsan Bidi, who have been part of MEC and is very critical to what MEC does and was tortured by MEC, is publicly active on denouncing the crimes of the Maryam Rajavi gang. This thing has made Maryam Rajavi mad, and she has declared the defectors as her enemies. Since 2018, dear friends, the Albanian government, or better let us say since 2019, when we have a Catholic fundamentalist Minister of Interior, Sander Leshi, coming to power, the Minister Sander Leshi has in a way sided with MEC on persecuting the opposition to the Mujahedins. Because we have Mujahedins in Albania, whom the American administration likes to call them the Iranian opposition, not terrorists. It is a joke, of course, but Mike Pompeo can even one day call Abu Bakr Baghdadi the opposition to Bashar al-Assad in Syria. And we know that for the Americans, this is not something that they cannot do. Anyhow, coming back, in Albania, we have dozens of defectors who have abandoned jihad. They want to live a peaceful life. They came in Albania as refugees. Now, what is going on in Albania is that MEC and her commanders are day and night pushing and bribing and paying Albanian police to make life horrible to these Iranian Mujahedins. In February or January 2019, Maryam Rajavi managed to push Albanian police to illegally remove the asylum status which was granted by UNHCR from Ehsan Bidi. Ehsan Bidi is one of the defectors of MEC, a person who doesn't want to do jihad. After removing his status, MEC again pushed Albanian immigration police to have Ehsan Bidi sent to a jail, a detention center, for 1 year. In 13th of August, Ehsan Bidi passed a year illegally in prison through the pushing of Maryam Rajavi and her gang. And what happened on 13th of August, Albanian border police took Ehsan Bidi and threw him to Greece, to the Greek border. This incident caused a major scandal and diplomatic tension between Albania and Greece, because what Albanian police did was illegal. You cannot take an asylum seeker that you have already granted him asylum and to throw him to another country. MEC paid many Albanian TV stations and news outlets like Top Channel, who published a very dark and bleak article against Ehsan Bidi, accusing this man of being an Iranian agent. Ehsan Bidi is not an Iranian agent. If Ehsan Bidi is an Iranian agent, the Albanian government should send him before the court and then send him to jail. But because the Albanian government has no facts, they, in order to please the criminal Mojahedin command, threw this person outside of Albania. What we did, me, Gjergji, Thanasi, and many other Albanian journalists, we asked all the media to go to the Greek border. We alerted many embassies, UNHCR, international organizations, to investigate the criminal and illegal way how the Albanian government was dealing with Ehsan Bidi. Thanks to our work, and we have even some Albanian MPs who joined us and who warned our interior minister, the fundamentalist Catholic Sandor Leshaj, not to break the law with Ehsan Bidi, we managed to save Ehsan Bidi. On the 15th of August, we took Ehsan Bidi in the center of Tirana. We went to the Hotel Tirana International and we made a press conference. We called all the medias and we showed to the Albanian media and public what MEC is doing in Albania. MEC is illegally pushing Albanian authorities to jail its defectors. MEC is illegally pushing Albanian authorities to throw the defectors outside of Albania without any court order. And this was a major scandal which worried a lot our interior ministry and the Mujahedins. I want to tell to Maryam Rajavi and her jihadi commanders who will be watching this video that we will not allow you to kill or illegally jail Ehsan Bidi and other defectors. In Albania is a country of laws. If Ehsan Bidi and other MEC defectors break the laws, like you break the laws every day with your incitement to hatred, to war and terrorism against foreign countries, they should go to court. But the first people who should go to court in Albania, dear Maryam Rajavi, it is you and your jihadi commanders who break the rules and laws of Albania. So yes, it is true that I and Gjergji Thanasi and other Albanian journalists and people from many medias in Albania who even do not dare to report about you because they are afraid, because you and your commanders go and blackmail our medias, they were all mobilized on the 13th of August to help Ehsan Bidi. Ehsan Bidi could have been killed in the border, maybe by you or some other people, but we saved him. We saved Ehsan Bidi, and we are going to save every MEC defector. And by the way, I want to appeal to Mr. Ahmet Tabai and this other zombie Faramaz Safa. I know, guys, that you who are attacking me, you are some also desperate slave soldiers here in Albania. I want to appeal to you guys, you and other friends, that if you want to escape from the Ashraf camp and to live in freedom and to marry and to have a good life, we are here to help you too. Not only Ehsan Bidi, but even you guys, even you who attack us. Because I know that you are soldiers, you are obeying to your chain of command, but we, as intellectuals of Albania, are here to protect you. are here to help you for your democratic rights. You should not live as soldiers for Maryam Rajavi. You should live a good civilian life because you have suffered a lot. Now, another accusation that MEC is doing against me is that I'm helping the mullahs of Iran for a petition that they have made to the government of Prime Minister Edi Rama to allow Iranian agents in Albania. Now, for the people who do not probably understand what the hell is going on, let me make it simple. We have here in Albania around 7,000 Iranian jihadis. Like you have, if you are from United Kingdom, you had, for example, Shamina Begum, who went to join ISIS. Now, these people, like Shamina Begum in the UK, have their families back in Iran. They have their mothers, fathers, sisters, wives, children, whatever. Now, since when MEC abducted many of the soldiers that they have today in the camp Ashraf 3 in Albania, these people have never been allowed to contact with their families. Imagine if I am a jihadi soldier for Maryam Rajavi and I live in her camp of Manza. Maryam Rajavi have taken me from Iran, Iraq, Turkey, whatever, 30 years ago. And for the past 30 years, I've been living inside a military compound. I don't see news. I have no internet, no smartphone. And moreover, I'm not allowed to communicate with my family. Why? Because Maryam Rajavi is afraid from the families of her soldiers. Because, let us say, if I am a soldier for Maryam Rajavi and I communicate with my mother or father or sister or wife or kid who is in Iran or in the United States or Italy or Canada and tells me, Olsi, listen, leave that shit alone, abandon jihad, de-radicalize yourself, come out of the camp and let's go back home. This was the case of Sumaya Mohammedi, an Iranian ex-resident whose family is Canadian, who came here in Albania in 2018 and were begging Albanian authorities, were begging the Ministry of Interior, were begging Prime Minister Edi Rama, were telling to him, please allow us to meet our daughter. Our daughter is inside the jihadi camp of Maryam Rajavi. We are Canadians. We want to take our daughter to Canada. We have a nice home in North York. We have 4 cars, 2 cats, 1 dog. We have a very good life. Why should our daughter live in this paramilitary jihadi camp when she can come to Canada? The argumentation of MEC was, no, these are Iranian agents. Her father is agent of a mullah. He's going to grab her and send her to the mullahs to make her a sex slave in Iran. Shit. Nothing true. MEC did all it could to stop, and they managed, and it was a big scandal in 2018, and all the Albanian public understood what a horrible criminal organization MEC is. They stopped and prohibited Sumaya Mohammedi from coming out of the camp and meeting her father and mother. Now, Maryam Rajavi, with the help of some American politicians, have asked the Albanian government of Edi Rama to allow not in this country any Iranian. If an Iranian steps in Albania, he goes immediately to jail as an agent of the Iranian regime. The only Iranians who are allowed here are those people who take the permit from Maryam Rajavi, the head of the Mojahedins. Now, what is going on in Iran and in many other countries of the world, there are many families who want to meet their children, their sons and daughters, who are being held inside the camp of Maryam Rajavi. Maryam Rajavi does not allow them. They have convinced the government of our Prime Minister Edi Rama not to give visa to anyone. And even if any Iranian has Italian or American or Canadian citizenship and comes in here, MEC is going to push the Albanian police to harass these European and American citizens and will never allow them to go near the camp and to meet their loved ones. So what is going on, friends, in Iran at present? There is a huge petition, thousands of signatures, and letters that have been sent to Prime Minister Edi Rama, begging him and telling him, please, Mr. Edi Rama, allow us to come in your country in Albania and to meet our children, to de-radicalize them, to tell them come back home. Or if they don't want to come back home, like Mustafa Mohammedi was doing here in 2018, at least to see our daughters, to kiss them. They are our children. Our children want to do jihad with Maryam Rajavi, they want to be suicide bombers, good enough. Let them do, but at least we have the right to see them. So what we have at present, we have many Iranian families who have made a huge petition and sent to our Prime Minister. After this, I think they are going to approach the United Nations. They're going to ask the United Nations to intervene and to allow these families to come and see their loved ones. Now, this thing has worried Maryam Rajavi and her military command a lot. They do not want the families of their soldiers to even communicate, to even write letters to the Prime Minister of Albania. Me, myself, using this YouTube channel, you can see my videos, I have interviewed some of these families who are in Iran, I don't know which places of Iran, I'm not good at geography, but in Azerbaijan mostly, and many other regions of Iran. I have interviewed some of these people in my Skype channel. I've asked them, what do you want? And they tell me, oh, I want my son Emir is in the camp. I haven't seen my son for the past 20-25 years. Please, can you tell to your Prime Minister to allow me to talk to my son? Some of the people that I have interviewed, they have even told me, can you please tell to your Prime Minister and Minister of Interior to tell to Maryam Rajavi to at least allow our kids to come on Skype. We want to talk to them on Skype. Can you imagine, world, what is going on in Albania? What are the Mujahedins doing? And for this reason, this is one of the accusations that MEC have made against me. Mr. Tabi and Mr. Safa, if you are not forced to read the confession that you wrote against me, you should really be idiots. Because there is no human being in this world who does not want to meet his family. You have been for so many years far away from your families. I do not know what Maryam Rajavi has done you to turn you into such idiots. But believe me, I'm telling to you, to our Interior Ministry, to everyone, I'm going to, for as long as you don't kill me, I'm alive, of course, or you don't, our government doesn't illegally jail me for doing journalism. I'm going to communicate with your families and I'm going to bring their videos on my YouTube channel. If you want to see how your families are doing, see them. If you don't want to see, it's your right. Now, apart from this response that I'm doing to Mr. Faramaz Safa and Ahmed Tabai for their accusations that they have launched against me and my friend Gjergji Thanasi, I have an invitation for you, jihadi friends. For you, Mr. Ahmed Tabai, we have met together in 2018 in the police station number 4 of Tirana, when you came with the notorious Bahzat Safari, Gila Dehim, and you brought out of the police station your 5 jihadi friends who had beaten and hospitalized Mustafa Mohammedi, the Canadian family who was in Tirana to meet their daughter Sumaya Mohammedi. Now, I know you, but I never met this Faramaz Safa. I wrote even on your YouTube channel, but I do not know if you deleted it or it is there still. I have a personal challenge for you guys. You launched so many accusations against me and my friend Gjergji Thanasi and other journalists here in Albania. Can't we do an open and democratic debate? Can we talk for everything? I can come in your camp of Manza if you, of course, make me one invitation and you don't kill me when I come there. You don't strangle me. I don't know. You have different killing techniques. You are Mujahedins. You are people of the military. I mean, you are foreign fighters. I have no military training, so I have to admit, I mean, you can kill me. You are strong. You are 7,000. I'm one. Anyhow, I have this invitation for you guys. Can we have an open and democratic debate about all the accusations that you launch against me? You accuse me and my friends as being Iranian agents, like you have accused even BBC. You beat the journalist of Channel 4. You accused Al Jazeera. You attacked the New York Times. You attack all the medias. You hate the medias, of course, because you are not used to democracy. You don't know what is democracy. Even though Mike Pompeo and Rudy Giuliani, they like to call your Maryam Rajavi as the Iranian opposition. I mean, my God, if Maryam Rajavi is the Iranian opposition, then Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi should be the George Washington of Syria. Now, I have this proposition for you. Can we have a debate? I can come to your camp and you can throw all the accusations that you have against me. Or if you are afraid and Maryam Rajavi doesn't let me to come in your camp, because I believe if I come in your camp, it will be a riot. Because there are many of your Mujahedins who see my videos. I tell you this for sure. And they very much like me. And you have hundreds of soldiers inside your camp who want to escape into freedom. But so I tell you, I can come to your camp, or if Maryam Rajavi will allow you, you can come somewhere in Tirana or in Durrës, and we can have a democratic debate. You can tell all the accusations against me. I can tell you what you are doing, the crimes that you are doing, and let's solve this issue. We can go on Skype if Maryam Rajavi doesn't let you. Can you accept democracy? Can you accept freedom of speech? Can you accept the fact that in democracy you can be scrutinized, criticized for what you do? Albania, dear Mujahedin terrorist friends, is a free country. We live in democracy. Albania is not Iraq of Saddam Hussein. You cannot silence the free media. You cannot blackmail us. I know that you are pushing our interior ministry against us. I know that you are sending petitions and you are complaining to our president, to the prime minister. You removed me from my job, you criminals. But you cannot silence us. You see, we fought very hard against communism. We overthrew the Stalinist regime of Enver Hoxha for the freedom of speech. And today you cannot silence us. But look, I'm not afraid of your attacks against me. I'm not afraid from the harassment that security services do against me and other journalists like me. But I have a challenge. Let's have a debate. Tell to Maryam Rajavi to come if she dares. But of course she does not. She's hysterical, especially since the passing away of her husband. She has even some sexual problems, I think. But you find any jihadi commander that you have and let's have a debate. I'm open. I love to save you guys. I love you. I like you to abandon terrorism, to abandon jihad, to abandon your wet dreams for regime change. You are old now. You are dying. You need to have a good resting life. Please don't be idiots. Okay, friends, everybody who's watching my video, it's a crazy time here in Albania, but I had to make this response. Assalamu alaikum. Bye bye.